Hi, I'm Mark Gibbs with the Great Outdoors Nursery in Austin, Texas. And if you watched us on part one, this is the exact same rose bush that we did our clean out techniques on. If you didn't catch that, go ahead and look at that segment. It's a great thing to do before we get into the actual pruning time, which is around Valentine's Day here in Austin. So this is that same little bush. We've gotten rid of the 3Ds and anything crossing. Now, as you can see, it looks really bare, I know, but believe it or not, you need to be pretty brutal with these guys because they put on a lot of growth that they didn't necessarily need and could have been damaging down the road. We've gotten rid of all those things. We're looking at what I call the main scaffold of the plant now. Typically, rose growers will say keep 3 main trunks. I usually suggest keeping 5. Part of that is if you have something happen after you've done this pruning, and you've only got 3 canes, that's gonna leave you down to a pretty lopsided plant. If you've got 5 canes, you're a little bit safer. The coolest thing is with 3 canes, you want those canes to sort of form a diamond pattern. If you've got 5, you'd be looking at a star pattern almost. And strangely enough, when you look over the top of the plant, you can actually look down in there and you can see my favorite 3, boom, boom, and boom. And we've almost got a perfect triangle there just set up by the plant. This clean out process really helps the plant show us that. I kept this guy on the bottom because he is going away from mama on both of those. And I kept this guy to the left. He's got 2 coming off. We may play with which one we want to keep or not. But you're going to be down to 3 to 5 canes, and they need to be anywhere from 12 to 18 inches long. A lot of folks stay at 12. Again, I usually go a little higher in case there's damage. If you've got a 12-inch cane and it takes some damage on the end, it's going to be even more stumpy. So you can be a little generous. You can always take it off later, but it's better to do a little less now and do more later on if you feel like you need to, than let Mother Nature, she may make you do it anyways. So we've got down to our 5 here that I'm happiest with. And right now, when you begin pruning these last guys, you want to find a place on the bush that is a node off your main cane facing away from the graft. So when we prune that, we want to prune it at that node that's facing away from mama. So when that growth comes out, it's funny, I tell people this, it's almost like each cane becomes its own bush, even though they're all attached to the same graft. You'll begin to see that once you begin cleaning them out, and then all of a sudden it makes it even easier to find those main canes and find that bud facing away from mama. So that's your main frame. You begin cleaning those guys off, and then if you want, you can start looking at how close they are together also. Sometimes people will pick 6 or 8 inches between the canes. We really don't want them closer than that because, again, depending on how they grow out in the spring, you may have a lot of connection between those canes, and that can lead to disease and insect problems. So think about those buds facing away from mama. Think about leaving a little bit longer of a cane initially just to be on the safe side, and then hold off on fertilizing. We're going to follow up with you on that. So you'll have to check back with us for stay tuned 3 time, and that's going to help you determine when to fertilize and why to fertilize and what you can use. If you have any questions on finding the scaffold of your plant and which guys are great, if they're in pots, bring them on in. We'd be glad to show you how to do it.